Hi. Guess who's here? It's Sunny. You didn't lose me after all. Okay, we'll talk about what's going on in my life a little bit later down the road, but let's get cooking. I wanted to try out it. I haven't tried it yet, so if I mess up, you're going to see it. A banana pudding cheesecake bars recipe that my granddaughter Savannah had found, and she said, oh my goodness, that looks so good. Her boyfriend took a look at the picture and said, I think I'm in love. So I wanted to help her figure out how to do this. Now, the beginning of the recipe calls for you to make a cookie, a blondie kind of shortbread, quasi brownie that's blonde cookie in the bottom of an 8x8 or 9x9 pan. And I will give you the ingredients in the description box for that in case you want to do that. But I thought for all of you who are just starting to cook, you might want to just get a package of these cookie dough, sugar cookie dough, and we're going to pat that out. Now, you're going to want to take your pan and lightly spray, very lightly. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to take my paper towel and kind of use that to kind of wipe it all over in here. And what this is going to do is help you prepare it for the parchment paper. I love these parchment papers that Reynolds makes. They pop right up. I use them for everything. If I'm getting chicken out and I don't want it to touch my cutting board or my counter, I'll pull a couple of these and put them down. I can work on my chicken and just throw it away. But we're going to use that today in our sprayed pan. We're going to ease it on down. And what I did is I folded the sides a little bit. I think you can see it. So that it fits the width of my pan. And you're going to push it down just a little bit and leave the sides poking up. And the reason why it looks like I need a little bit more, I was a little too skimpy on that. Oh, there, now it's sticking. You have to have a little bit of oil in the bottom of your pan to get this to stick. So let's put that in there. This is going to give you handles to lift the finished product up, because a lot of times you don't want to scratch up your good non-stick bakeware, okay? So this way, once the bars are all done, I'm just going to go like this and lift them over to my cutting board. Then once that they're cut into neat squares, they can be put in an airtight container and then put back in the fridge or the freezer. I think they kind of prefer you to eat this almost in a frozen state, but we'll see. Okay, so we're going to do that. Of course, take off your rings. My hands are super clean because I just got through doing dishes. And take your rings off and put them on something where you're not going to get them lost down the drain, okay? Put that on the side. Let's get to getting some of these cookies in here. This sounds like it's labor intensive, but it's not difficult. Basically, you're going to cook your cookies crust up ahead of time and let it cool down. And then you're going to whip your whipping cream, just as if you were making whipped cream for another dessert. And then you put the whipped cream in the fridge. Then you're going to take and you're going to need to have 2 bars of cream cheese. Let that sit out for a good hour to 2 hours and get soft on the counter. You're going to need 1 container, the small 3.4 ounce of instant banana pudding. You're going to need a little vanilla extract. And please, no matter what brand you use, make sure you get the pure. Don't ever cook with imitation vanilla. The difference is like night and day, and it wastes all of your other expensive ingredients if you use a cheap vanilla and then it doesn't taste so hot. Of course, we're going to need some bananas. Oh, and I forgot to go and get my Nilla wafers. I bought the little mini Nilla wafers. And we're going to use that mostly to decorate. But I think I'm going to deviate from the recipe a little bit because, you know, a good banana pudding has got some bananas throughout the pudding. And this just, now if you make your own cookie dough, they have you putting a little bit of mashed banana in that. Since we're not doing that, I'm going to slice some bananas and put it in the inside. Like I'll put a little bit of the cream cheese filling down, and then I'll put some bananas, and then I'll put a little bit more, and I'll probably layer a little bit of those Nilla wafers in there. The way a good banana pudding is supposed to be done. Alrighty, so I'm going to get to this. I'm going to open this up and start putting some of these sugar cookies for our base. Okay? You know me, I usually don't cheat, but I do remember when I was first starting out and I cheated a lot. So I figured all the young ones that are just newly starting to cook, this says we're going to have to bake these cookies at 350. So get your oven cooking, preheating. And as you see, just like in Hawaii, I'm still sitting while I cook. Okay, so my new stove here at the new house, I have to unlock the controls. Let's put the light on. And then it's hit bake and 350 and then start. Okay? So, anyhow, I had a couple people email me or message me on YouTube last week asking where was I. Well, it has been a busy 19 months that we've moved since we moved from Honolulu, or Kaneohe, as you know, that I was on the other side of the island where it is the best part of Oahu, the windward side. I know those are fighting words for people on the other side of the island, but it's something that we tease each other in good nature jesting. Okay, so anyhow, so much has been going on. It was really a blessing to move into this house because we're real close to the hospital, and we moved in at January 28th to 2022, and then February 14th, which was just not quite 3 weeks later, on Valentine's Day, Dennis had his first heart attack. If we still had been in Kaneohe, the traffic to the hospital would have been crazy, and it was further away. Right here, the EMS was able to get him to our hospital in about 3 or 4 minutes. So he had a really, really good, fast short amount of time before he was being treated. And praise the Lord, he did fine on that heart attack. We didn't know quite then it was a heart attack. They came up with a lot of different ideas. I wasn't really clear until the second one. He's going to want to jump in and change things. We're not going to let him. I'm going to tell the story, my side of understanding. Okay, so time went on, and he was feeling better and acting better, and I thought, you know, he's kind of not really in the woods. I thought he was out of the woods. He has another one a few months later, and that one's worse. Well, fortunately for him, the cardiologist that he had here locally happened to know one of the best cardiac surgeons in Little Rock. And he got him hooked up, and he stayed in the hospital for about 5 days here, and then they transported him to the hospital in Little Rock via the ambulance, and they did some more tests and stuff like that, and then they got him ready to have his surgery. And brother, did they ever do a big surgery on him. I think they did everything that's possible to do to a heart. They must have done to him. They even did this ablation thing where they went all the way around the heart, giving it, well, some of you probably even know better than I do what ablation is. I'll tell you what, these sugar cookies are very sticky and squishy. I had let them sit out and come to room temperature. Maybe not such a good idea. We'll find this out together. It's okay. And they did his heart surgery. Rachel came, and she, you know, she's our only child, and so she came to see him and to help me not be alone during this time. Although I have to say, take my hat off to have an ADT as our home security. We put it in right away that first few days when we got here, because I felt so much safer being alone the first day or two before Rachel got here. And yeah, so he had his surgery, and like, I think it was not quite two weeks later, he came home, and it was a really, really rough. I keep telling him, you know, if that had happened to me, there's no way I would have the courage to go through what he's gone through. He was such a trooper. He's just amazing. So anyhow, got him home, started taking care of him, and then Rachel moved from Washington State over here, and you know, Kenai came with, of course, because she's got Kenai, and so that was fun. We had a lot of fun last year for Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, except unfortunately I was really sick off and on through last Thanksgiving and Christmas. So here I had bought all the goodies to do all this cooking, and I was unable, I didn't have the strength to do the big cooking. So unfortunately, excuse me, I got the hiccups. That was postponed a few days until I was feeling better. No, it was not COVID. It was just some sort of, I don't know what it was, just not feeling well. It could have been, I don't know what it was. It wasn't COVID though. I wasn't coughing. I just was not feeling, I didn't have the strength in me, and I just was feeling icky and weak and icky. So, but we did go, and we went to the, okay, I'm going to use one more cookie, and I'm just putting this in the bottom. I'm not putting it up the sides, okay? If you want to put it up the side just a little bit, you go ahead and you do you. But I think this is going to be plenty. I initially had thought maybe I would smash some bananas and mix into this, but I just, on second thought, when I got to doing it, I just didn't feel right about that. So maybe another time I'll try that, but this time we're just going to try with the cookies only. So now what I'm going to do is put this in the prepared oven and let them bake till they're nice and golden brown. And I'm going to show you how it looks. I've been patting them out while we talked. So Dennis is doing really pretty well, and Rachel and Kenai have moved on to Wyoming, and they're with their friends Michelle, and there's a lot going on over there in Wyoming. They're in a tiny little town that makes this town, our town has got 22,000. Their town has like 8,000. So anyhow, yeah. And it's going to be cold like 9 or 10 months out of every year. So we have been having terrible heat wave here. And like so many people in the country. And right now, and of course our thoughts and prayers were with the people in Lahaina. And so, yeah, that was horrendous. And we're praying for all of the families that lost people. Okay, here's the cookie dough squished out in the bottom, okay? So I'm going to turn this off while we're baking this. And I will show you that we only used half of the package of sugar cookies. So theoretically, you could just make sugar cookies down the road. I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator. And I'll be seeing you in a little bit. It's going to be a few minutes for me, but for you, blink of an eye. So I love you, and we'll talk some more and make the stuff that, ooh, the whipped cream and the cream cheese, cheesecake stuff. Ooh, it's going to be so good. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay, bye-bye. Okay. All the wipe down and the regroup has happened. I have put it in this tall mixing bowl. Let's try this again, okay? Let's make some whipped cream. Now, on. Don't jinx me now, okay? Now, let's get this whipped up so we can put it in the fridge. After we whip this up, then we're gonna, it'll be safe in this big bowl. We're gonna put the cream cheese, the sugar, a little bit of milk, and the banana pudding. This is starting to whip up nicely. Let's see if I can just trust it to go one more step up. Oh my goodness. I haven't used this mixer very much since I got it. Okay. So. We're almost there. I could have cut that out, you know, but I thought it'd be, it's better. You know, because I'm a viewer too. And I really would prefer to see somebody have a boo-boo. Okay, we're pretty close. Look how fast that did that. Okay, now I want you to see how it formed peaks in there. Can you see? But we don't want to take it too much further because I'll tell you, we're not far off from butter. And yeah, it's better just to buy your butter. Okay, so I got that out. And put that in the sink. Ah, oh my goodness, oh my soul. There goes Alice down the hole. You new people probably haven't heard me say that song. It was from my mom. And you got to make sure you sing it off key on purpose. Because my mom, bless her heart, she was tone deaf. And she could not sing on key to save her life. But I loved her so much. And when she'd sing to me every night when she put me to bed, it was such a happy time. It was such a happy time. If she knew that I had come home crying because the kids had been really mean that day about me being a fat kid, she'd sing lots of uplifting songs to me and full of love. Okay, let's get these other ones. And hey, I bought this accessory to add. Now my KitchenAid hand mixer, of course, came with regular beaters. But look at what nifty beaters they put out after that. They've got silicone covers on the bottoms so they don't really make a lot of noise and they don't beat up your glass bowls and stuff. Okay, let's see. I gotta figure this out. One goes in first. So my mom would sing this song usually when you would go to take a bath. And she'd sing, Alice, where are you going? Upstairs to take a bath. Alice got in the bathtub, slipped on the soap. Oh my goodness, oh my soul, there goes Alice down the hole. Alice, where are you going? Down the hole. My mom was a hoot. She probably still is on the other side, making people laugh. Okay, we got them in. We got our whipped cream. I'm supposed to put it in the fridge, but it's nice and cool in the house, and I don't think it's going to fall apart that fast. I'm kind of to the point now where if it does, it does. Okay, now we got to get our 2 bars that must be very nice and soft. Oh, and a note to anybody that's new to using cream cheese in the softened state, do yourself a favor and don't try to do it quickly in the microwave because it'll ruin the product that you're going to look for. Even if you try to do it slow in the microwave on a lower setting and all that stuff, it is just not going to turn out the same as if you let it get at room temperature on your counter, okay? So do yourself a favor and do it the right way. If you forgot to set it out, do make your product the next day and set it out. Because you won't forget 2 times in a row, I'll tell you that. When you're anxious to eat a dessert and you can't do it because you forgot to put the cream cheese out to get warm. There's people that'll say you can do it. Depending on what you're going to make, you may or may not pull it off. But this is just kind of one of those quick pudding things. And if it's not thick, like it will be when it's at room temperature, it's going to be all off. So we got the cream cheese. I set it out probably 3 or 4 hours ago. I don't even know how long I took my nap. There's one. Okay, let's get the other one in here. So I hope everybody's doing well. I hope we've got some new viewers. And for you new viewers, I used to bleach my hair blonde. Don't do that anymore. I stopped right before the pandemic. I had my beautician put my hair back to my natural hair color. She could match because I had long roots. And she did a really great job. And then the pandemic hit and Dennis and I had to stay in our apartment for over 2 years. So I couldn't have been going to get my roots done anyhow. So it was a good timing. Okay, now it says first to beat this up a little bit and get it nice and creamy. Now because this is thick, it won't be going all over the place. I hope. I'm a little bit nervous. I felt like I was like Lucille Ball or something. Like when that time, if you, any of the older ones have seen it, and I don't know if you younger kids have a way to see I Love Lucy reruns, but if you can, there's one where she's working in a chocolate factory, and she's supposed to be putting them in a box or something, and they start coming faster and faster, and she can't keep up, and she's stuffing them in her mouth. It's hilarious. Well, that's kind of how I felt when it just... Okay, so I'm going to just up this just a little bit. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, those silicone beaters, isn't that nice? You don't have to hear all that clanking around and wonder, oh, am I getting chips off my bowl? Or okay. It said beat it until it's nice and creamy. But I don't know how 2 blocks of cream cheese could be anything but creamy, do you? Okay. Now we're going to mix in. Now see, we got it nice and creamy. We're going to mix in our pudding and our sugar and our vanilla and a little dab of milk. It's like half of a cup of milk. So it probably says in the instructions to do it slowly. I'm probably not going to listen to that. All right. We got your banana pudding. Dump that in. This is not so much cooking as assembling, is it? Okay. And your sugar. We probably should whip those things together first. Isn't this a cool color of measuring cup? I found those at Walmart. Okay. Let's get these sugars, and usually want to beat the sugar in a little bit with the oh, come on now, don't get flaky on me. It turned itself up faster than what I wanted it to turn it up. Okay, and we're going to put the milk. Maybe the milk you pour in slowly. I'm going to have to clean my glasses after this. Boy, you can smell the banana. And we need a teaspoon of vanilla. I think I'm going to put the vanilla in and some of the bananas and smush them up in here. Okay, so teaspoon. They also had the teaspoon, the measuring spoons in those colors. Isn't that cool? Okay, teaspoon of real vanilla, the real pure authentic kind. Okay. We got to have just a little bit more, because after all, you normally would have put a little bit into your whipped cream when you made whipping cream, and we didn't. Okay. How we doing? Did you see my flowers? Look, I bought myself some over at Walmart for $4.97, I think. Some pretty sunflowers the other day. Okay, we got this done. And let's just put a little bit of these ripe bananas in here. Okay. All right. Let's mix this up. I may have to stand up. First you do this button. Yeah, it was like my mixer went rogue on me, because I wasn't pushing the button and it just stayed going up higher and higher and higher. But apparently we always need to have a high, high rim on your bowl when you're making whipped cream. Okay, so let's get this after we get this all whipped together, which it's not going to take very long at all, then we're going to fold in the cream that we whipped up. You did it in 2 steps because you wanted it to have the air make this lighter and fluffier consistency. Okay, this isn't rocket science. Don't anybody be put off by it, and just because it's got a couple different steps, make it feel like it's going to be hard on you. It's not. Later I'll teach you some other recipes and they will be complicated, but it's worth the effort because, oh man, are they delicious when you get done. So we're loving Arkansas. Yes, I do miss Hawaii, and I specifically miss my friends that are still there. And a shout out to Alberta. You know, she's my best friend and love her dearly. And thankfully, you know, we all were in Oahu, so we didn't have that mess that they had in Maui. Okay, so now we've got the pudding part, and I'm going to run my rubber spatula around here a little bit and see how we're doing. Oh, it's got a nice thick consistency. Now they said if it's not as sweet as you would like it, just add some powdered sugar. And the reason why they're saying add a little powdered sugar is because it won't make it grainy. It's nice and soft. So if you taste this and you want it more sweet, by all means put like 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and beat it in, okay? I personally, as much as I like sweet stuff, I don't think I need it. So now I'm going to scrape the whipped cream in here. It's only a little bit of whipped cream. Oh boy. Looks like a fly got in the house. I hate it when that happens. All right. Boy, I'm going to have a couple things to wash up, aren't I? That's okay. I like to do the dishes. You know, we're not using the dishwasher in this house. For one thing, whoever put it in, they did not install it to where it feels like it's in there sturdy. You can wiggle it around and stuff. They did not secure it. Now, use a real gentle, they call it folding, when you cut down one direction under and fold over like that. But really, as long as you're gentle, it doesn't really matter how you stir on this one. It's just pudding. And there was not that much whipped cream to mix in. Looks like it's going to be really yummy. Okay. So, I think I have it all incorporated. All right. There we go. And you got your banana pudding. All right. Need a paper towel. Because a little bit of the milk went out. Next thing I'm going to do after I turn the recorder off is wipe down this counter real well. Okay, so we've got our cookie crust, and we're going to pour this in there, okay? So I'm going to put a blob, put another blob, and smooth it out. So I'm kind of, because I've done so many desserts in my 50 years of marriage, we just had our 50th anniversary a while back. I kind of know how to do stuff, and this I know we're not going to be too happy with if it doesn't have some bananas and vanilla wafers in the mix. I just know all you banana pudding lovers, you like your vanilla wafers in the middle of the pudding. I think we'll put one more little blob over here. Okay. So you can see I've got it up to about there on the pan. And now I'm going to decorate with some of these vanilla wafers and bananas. First we'll put some of these little mini vanilla wafers down. I'm going to try not to be too uptight about it and have to have them in rows and all neat and all that stuff. I'm trying to get over being like that, fussy. I'm trying to learn to just let things be random. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. That's a personal growth that I've been having. Some of you will remember back in the day when I was such a fussy. Everything had to be perfect. Okay, so I put approximately this many vanilla wafers. Okay, got that. Now I'm going to put pretty much all of my bananas on there, on top of there. It's kind of like making pizza, isn't it? Putting your toppings on. Okie dokie. You do want to get it kind of even so that nobody misses out on having some banana. Okay. So if you see, you look down on your pan and you see you've put a whole bunch in one area, kind of use your fingers, and you always get your fingers clean, right, when you're cooking. And God gave us our fingers as some of the best tools you could ever want. Okay, so get that spread out. I might need one piece of banana over in this corner. That's pretty well distributed. I will show you here in a minute. Where's my paper towel? So that I don't lick my fingers like I'm 5 years old. If Kenai was here, he'd be, hey, I remember that was the best part when you're a kid, right? So here's the distribution of the bananas. And now we're going to put the rest. Man, I got to wipe off this mixer, though, that's for sure. She's had a hard day. Okay. And I don't think I need to wash my scissors. I'll tell you one thing I've bought that I really like since we got to Arkansas, and that's the Food Saver. I got one over at Walmart, of course. Everything is Walmart over here, because it's not like we have a nice big mall with lots of shops and everything. You got to go down into Arkansas, Little Rock, to get all access to all that stuff. So Walmart is our big shopping spree here. And so I got the food saver and I use it every day. I keep it here on the counter. I use it all the time. And I'm not kidding. It has changed how I never lose cheese to mold anymore. You suck the air out of the cheese and put them in a vacuum pack. Man, that is awesome. And I vacuum seal everything. Even green salads, you can vacuum seal it. Some things, if they're soft, you got to be careful and don't suck it down too long. If it's going to crunch it down, be Johnny on the spot, and instead of letting it automatically push itself into the seal mode, when you see it's sucked down the air out of something enough, you be quick and be on the spot and push that seal button. Oh, this is looking pretty. Jordan, I think you're right. I think I'm in love. Woohoo! This looks amazing. I'm going to have to teach you this recipe that I'm going to learn, and it's not cheap. It's expensive. It's a treat because you put in so much different cheeses. But it's a baked macaroni and cheese, and it looks so killer. Okay, so I lick 2 fingers. Shoot me. Bang. Because in Arkansas, you can have a gun. You don't even need to register it. They don't care. They think you got rights. What a new concept. You can conceal carry and you don't have to explain nothing to them. You don't have to have anything. Here's how it's looking. I'm going to decorate it with a few of vanilla wafers. And then I think you're supposed to put it in the freezer. So we're going to decorate this a little pretty. We're going to do it a little fancy. So anyhow, the people in Arkansas, they have really got the aloha spirit. They talk story to you if you're a stranger and you're somewhere. They'll talk to you just like we talk in Hawaii to strangers. And they're friendly and hospitable. And I had neighbors that just were so sweet when Dennis was having his problems with his heart and stuff. They were right there for me and would offer to take me places, and any way they could help. My one neighbor across the street, Shelly, when the first time Dennis had his heart problem come up, then she, even that next day, she picked up Rachel at the airport, and she brought us a whole meal, even down to the dessert, so that after we came home from visiting Dennis at the local hospital, we just had to stick them in the oven and bake them for 20 minutes, and then we were good to go. Had a nice fresh meal. And she's so sweet, Shelly is. Then her house, like a few weeks later, burned down. So thankfully her insurance rebuilt it for her, and she's back now, but we sure did miss her. She couldn't be there, of course, while they were rebuilding her house. Now I'm kind of doing this, like, I'll show you in a second. Some of them are down and some of them are kind of sticking up, and I'm putting them every different which way. I'm trying to be artistic. Okay. I think that's just about it. There we go. Okay. Well, we're going to put this in the freezer, and I will type up in the description box, and then when we come back, I will show you how it looks when I lift it out and cut it into bars, and we'll have our taste test, okay? So bye for now. I probably won't see you and finish this until tomorrow. So, but of course, when you see it, it'll be all together. I hope. I haven't I haven't edited a thing together in so many years. I don't know if I can remember how. But if I have problems, Dennis is probably, he can solve it. He's pretty smart in that area. So I love you, and I will see you tomorrow or in a couple minutes. Bye. Hi, I'm back. So I got the bars out of the freezer, and I'm going to lift up on these sides and pull it out like this and put it on the cutting board. And then see if we can get it down here. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so you can watch me cut it. And it looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? Now you can decorate it with a little bit of glaze if you want to make powdered sugar and a couple teaspoons of milk, and then drizzle it fancy if you want to. Decorate it with whipped cream. Do whatever you would like. Oh, that cut very easily. It maybe needs to be frozen a little bit longer than this. Okay. And we cut through that cookie layer just fine. And we're going to cut a little piece for Dennis. You know he's diabetic, so he can only have a little bit. And there we go. And there you have it. How's that look to you? Gonna cut me a piece. I've been a pretty good girl today, so I'm gonna have me a nice piece. There we go. It's softer than I thought it would be. I guess I would store this in the freezer. I've got some to-go containers that I've washed up because they were so nice. They're nice and deep. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these and put them in here. And then I can put them in the freezer. Here, take a look at this. I really liked how I put the bananas and the Nilla wafers in the middle. So, let's see. I'm going to taste mine. I don't know if Dennis is going to come out and taste his. I'm going to tip this up. Let's taste it, okay? Okay. Yeah. Make it with the cookie crust. Number one, it's easy. And the flavor of that sugar cookie with the banana pudding, it's just awesome. See, you didn't need any extra sugar added in addition to that 1 cup that we put in, because that sugar cookie just takes it Oh man, that's so good. I'm so anxious for Dennis to taste this. Mmm. 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 Now, it didn't call for um, bananas to go in the pudding part that we did with the cream cheese. Do it. Do it. It was so good. I had 3 bananas cut and chopped, rough chop, so that it was kind of chunky. And I used about half of that mixed in with the cream cheese. And the beaters kind of mashed it up a little bit into the pudding. And then I used the other half of the, so it would be like a banana and a half, went into the pudding, and another banana and a half got sprinkled in the middle there. You're going to love this. You're going to really, really like this. So thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel, welcome again. I say welcome. And if you could subscribe and give me a thumbs up and hit that little bell so you can set it up so that anytime I make a new video, I'm going to hurry and close this up right here because I want to dig into my dessert. This is so good. And I want Dennis to come and have his. Anyhow, love you all. And I hope God is moving and working great things in your lives. And you all be safe out there. And it's a crazy world, but with God, all things are possible. And that means even a happy life. Okay, bye.